Thank you very much for joining me on this Saturday. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. Super busy out there, obviously, so let's cover it storm by storm. This here, Ophelia, that about to become Philippe. Look at that flare-up of rain as we get back toward the Bahamas, even down toward the Dominican Republic, so I want to get into that as well, track everything, go over all those models, but what I'm seeing in the environment with this, here's this blob, and this is developing. It looks like that will become Philippe today. It already looks like it is at that status, but they have not classified it officially. But that is looking even more like a tropical storm versus a tropical depression. So it may go right to Philippe as that day goes on. I'll dive into that. And this is what's going on right now with Ophelia. This has been a frustrating system. I'm always thinking of the small businesses along the Chesapeake, especially over toward the Delaware Bay, that are going to take on some water. And this system, for whatever reason, it was so late to be classified. We've been tracking it together, obviously. It was actually an easy forecast. This is exactly what the models have been showing over the last week, what the environment's been showing will happen over the last week or so. So it's really an easy call, but they didn't put out good alerts for this. That's always my concern, trying to give folks the heads up. This rolled in right near New Bern, just south, of course, coming over the Outer Banks. So you see it here. This is what's going on now. This is the radar, and you can see the center of this is now on shore. So it did make landfall as a strong tropical storm, about a low-end hurricane. Winds 70, 75 miles per hour. 74 makes it a hurricane. Officially, they kept it a tropical storm. And you see here, though, these are the wind gusts. I know it's a little bit small, but as it was rolling on shore, some of the gusts 60 to 65 miles per hour at those given sites, could be a little bit higher in some other spots. But there's the center of it rolling on shore. And as we look down the road, anytime you see a system hitting the Outer Banks, even though it's not this super powerful hurricane, it just flows, this onshore flow just continues to flow in for a day or two. And that's the issue with the backups and the surge along the Chesapeake. And look over here as you get over toward Ocean City, Maryland, some of the gusts to about 50, and that's going to be increasing as that day goes on. You get toward New Jersey as well, that onshore flow, gusty winds already, some of the winds gusting to 40, that is going to increase. Flooding a concern here. I want to get back to that in a moment. I'm going to zoom down into this, get into the surge in Ophelia, but I want to show you how everything is tied together. Here is what will become Philippe, should become Philippe as we go throughout the day. Here's this system out here. This has been a similar pattern that we've seen this season. Yeah, we've had a couple systems like Idalia sneak into the Gulf of Mexico, but high pressure has not been dominant. That's been allowing things to curve. High pressure is the blocker. You see it right here. So high pressure here, that's allowing this system to move into the Carolinas and up toward Delmarva. But look at this, my friends in the UK, I've been watching your comments coming in overnight. Yeah, some gusty winds. As these systems make a curve, they lose their tropical characteristics, but huge wind makers. We're going to have gusty winds throughout the weekend over toward Ireland, for example. So keep me posted in the comments if you're up there. We're thinking of you, especially into Western Europe as these systems move in. Now, let me show you down the road. This here, bringing you into next week. This is on Monday, and because we get these systems here, and because high pressure is not dominant, there is a path for these to make a curve. This area of high pressure is over here. All this stuff here, what's left over, what will be the leftovers of Ophelia, kind of split into two almost, watching a couple areas here. But here's this area of high pressure. It's over here. It's not over here. If it's parked on top of Bermuda, that usually drives things into the Caribbean. It's well over here into parts of the eastern Atlantic, so that allows this to make the curve, and we've been seeing that with a lot of systems, with Nigel, with Lee. Unfortunately, Lee did eventually hit land. That was, of course, a little bit closer over toward Nova Scotia, but you see, once again, this system allowed to make the curve because there's no big dominant area of high pressure in the Atlantic Ocean. So that's the setup. That's what I've been seeing for a few days, and I believe that is what is going to happen. You see the American model showing that as well, just zooming through this as we work our way into Sunday, Monday of next week. The system will get stronger, becoming a tropical storm, and then eventually a hurricane. And thinking of Bermuda down the road and keeping an eye on the Atlantic region of Canada, as it stands now, it should curve soon enough and that would put it to the east of Bermuda, much like we saw with Nigel. So here's Bermuda, and you see as we get into the middle of the week, this generally off to the east. I'll keep an eye on things, but watching that. And what I'm going to be diving into this week on this channel, this time of year, the pattern changes. We're not looking as much off the coast of Africa. That season shuts down. You get systems off the coast of Africa this time of year because of the global wind pattern and the very warm water temperatures. As we get into October, we watch old fronts. There's going to be an old front. Fronts coming through the United States along this, things can spin up. So we're looking closer to home. Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean, the extreme western Atlantic for development. Those are going to be the new spots to watch. I'm going to get into that further, but we're busy right now with this. What will become Philippe, you see almost all the models making the curve. Not all the models are the same. These are computers. You think of some computers being better than others. That's the case. This one, that guy's out to lunch, but these are going to be, or this will be making its curve. So what we have now, we're getting way through the list. If we get through the list of names, there's a secondary list of names this year. We don't go to the Greek alphabet. There'll be a secondary list of names. But Ophelia, Philippe, Rena, Sean, Tammy, Vince, and Whitney to round out that list. Hopefully I don't get anything hitting land. So we've got this here, this hitting land, obviously. This here, Ophelia, the heavy rain, there's a batch of rain that is really going to extend out ahead of it over to parts of Long Island, get into New York City and lift up toward Connecticut, Rhode Island, over toward Massachusetts. Then the system gets split as it works inland. We could see a secondary area of low pressure offshore, but not seeing a whole lot as we get into the Atlantic region of Canada. This is by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, but it's that persistent flow that backs up water on the Chesapeake. I started my weather career down in Salisbury, Maryland, very familiar with this area here, and you could see just with that flow coming in, these arrows, these are winds that are gusting to 50. I got kilometers an hour and miles per hour on here to cover you either way, but that onshore flow just piles up the water, Delaware Bay and the Chesapeake throughout the day. And yeah, there's a lot of small businesses, restaurants, some homes along that, and yeah, you could take on some water, and that's why I did not love the lack of the warnings on this system. It was so late to be classified. I just don't understand that. That's beyond me. But you see here, those gusty winds will persist. This is as we get into tonight, New Jersey, right along the coast. As you get over toward the shore, seeing those gusty winds will be overwashed, some coastal flooding in some spots, and as we get into Sunday, yes, some gusty winds over toward Long Island, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket, but the winds are going to subside as a whole. So this system will eventually weaken. Of course, it's losing its source of energy. It's losing its source of fuel now that it is over land. All right, getting a look at that surge, still on track for a surge up to 6 feet in these spots, central and southern Chesapeake. And as you get over toward the Maryland, this is a piece of Virginia right here, Maryland, Virginia border, just with that flow, a little bit of a surge of 1 to 3 feet as we get into central, southern New Jersey, and then back through that Delaware Bay. All right, as we work our way into the Caribbean, with that system up there, up toward the Carolinas, or at least North Carolina, I should say, not South Carolina. This is drawing in extra moisture this morning. We've had some showers and storms, been watching Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, near Jamaica, Cayman Islands as well, but especially the Bahamas, even Turks and Caicos. Rain chance elevated just with the system up to the north. It's pulling in a little bit more moisture. Trinidad and Tobago, we've had some rain in spots over the last few days. Boy, did we need it. I know we still need it in spots. Barbados, rain chance has been about 40-50%, but a lot of that, we've been mainly dry, so we still need to get some rain as we go throughout the day, watching out for those scattered showers and storms that will be with us, working our way into our Sunday afternoon. Scattered showers and storms, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, lesser as we get toward the Bahamas tomorrow, so the rain chance will be higher today, and then it will be going down after that. See some spotty showers, Eastern Caribbean, watching St. Kitts and Nevis, over toward Dominica, could see a passing shower as we work our way into Sunday. Then as we get into early next week, with a front that is eventually going to stall out. Look at my friends in Jamaica. We're going to see that rain chance going up. So I'll keep an eye on this. This is by Monday. Better chance of rain, gets a little more active here. And anytime I see moisture building in the Western Caribbean or Gulf this time of the year, I keep a very close eye on that to see if anything does try to spin up. Not seeing that now, but watching that. Eastern Pacific side, this should develop into a system. But again, that is well away from the southwest coast of Mexico. So rain chance, Trinidad and Tobago, at least it's around, better than it was a week or two ago. 50% chance. Barbados the next couple days, 40% chance. Back through St. Lucia, 40% chance over the next 2 days. 40% chance today in Grenada, 30% chance on Sunday, 40% chance in St. Vincent of the Grenadines today. Tomorrow we'll have that 30% chance of a passing shower, holding on to a 40% chance the next couple days in Jamaica. But Jamaica, as you get over toward Falmouth, Kingston, over toward Montego Bay, Monday, the rain chance, as I showed you in the model, that rain chance will be getting higher We get over toward Belize, rain chance 30% over the next few, 40% chance today, tomorrow as we get into Dominica, 30% chance St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat. A couple passing showers possible in Antigua, Barbuda, rain chance not super high, 40% chance today in Puerto Rico, heat advisories in place. U.S. and British Virgin Islands, rain chance about 30 to 40% through the weekend, 30% chance in Anguilla, and a high chance of rain today across the Bahamas. As I mentioned, we're going to see that rain. We already have that rain. There'll be flooding in spots. Keep me posted in the Bahamas. I'll be watching you all day long. St. Martin, Ceiba, Statia, rain chance about 30% today. 30% chance today, tomorrow, Yucatan of Mexico over toward Cancun. 40% chance Cayman Islands. But again, on Monday, Cayman Islands, watching that moisture building in the Western Caribbean. Turks and Caicos, the higher 50% chance of rain today. Same thing in Haiti. Haiti and Dominican Republic, better chance of rain. This is already panning out because that moisture that has been pluming in overnight and through the morning. And then we get back through Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire. Way too dry, very limited chance of rain over the next few days. 40% chance today in Guadeloupe, 40% chance today in Martinique, 30% chance for tomorrow, 70% chance today in Costa Rica, down a little bit tomorrow and Monday. Also watching Panama, Nicaragua, northern Venezuela, 40% chance today. And we've seen some spotty showers in Guyana and Suriname, but the rain chance will gradually go down some the next couple of days. 10% chance on Monday in Suriname. So clearly busy. We're watching Philippe, what will become Philippe, and making the curve. Ophelia bringing some of those big impacts as far as not so much the winds, but as far as the water is concerned along the bays, and that's going to be an issue. The system, there will be a little system that tries to spin up behind Philippe. Seeing that one staying out to sea as of now and watching close to home. That's going to be what I'll be watching with these old fronts, and I'll be diving into that throughout the upcoming week, tomorrow as well on Sunday, and then throughout the upcoming week, because we'll start to see things spinning up in the Gulf of Mexico and in the Caribbean. Thank you for being part of this channel. Thinking of you if you were dealing with that system this morning up through North Carolina, parts of Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, in New Jersey, as Ophelia continues to bring some heavier weather in your direction. I hope you have a good day ahead.